Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are doing awesome. Here with the Baltimore Ravens fantasy preview for 2021. Help you guys get ready for your drafts here and pretty much tell you who to draft from the Ravens and give you all the key stats and stuff to help you get with your drafts. And if you guys aren't already signed up with the Ultimate Draft Kit, go ahead and sign up in the link below. You want to sign up for the Fantasy Footballers Ultimate Draft Kit. Trust me, it's the best decision you're going to make as far as it comes to fantasy football. It's going to give you all the insight all year, all kinds of sleepers, give you everything you need to know to prepare for your draft. So many cheat sheets, and really is the best tool out there on the market. Nothing better. And it also gives you the daily fantasy pass as well. If you guys like to do daily fantasy, go ahead and check that out. It's going to give you guys the best projections and lineup simulators. Really is a must-have tool. So go ahead and check that out in the link below. Get you guys started with your fantasy drafts here. And yeah, I'm going to start out with the Baltimore Ravens. Starting with the quarterback, we got Lamar Jackson being drafted at number 78. So in the later 7th round. Love Lamar Jackson. I mean, you know what he's going to give you on the ground. Unbelievable on the ground this season, or last season and the years prior. The one thing you do hope from a fantasy perspective is that he can pick it up in the passing game. They did get some new additions on offense like Sammy Watkins and Bateman, so maybe they'll pass a little bit more, but really has high upside with that rushing ability. But some more passing yards and touchdowns will definitely help Lamar a lot more. But love where he's being drafted. You don't have to reach for him. You can get him in the mid-7th, so love his position. We got J.K. Dobbins, being the highest drafted here for the Ravens at 29. Get him in mid-round 2, late round 3, or early round 3 here. Love J.K. Dobbins. No Mark Ingram this season, so Dobbins is going to take that number 1 role and should get a lot of opportunity. And, he definitely showed what he can do last season, but going to get that number 1 role in a run-heavy offense here. So I love what's going to happen. I love the future for Dobbins here. You have Gus Edwards being drafted at 139. Gus Edwards, worth a late-round pick. Still going to get a lot of carries in this offense, so I do like Gus Edwards. We have Marquise Brown being drafted in, the late 8th, mid-8th at 86. I like Marquise Brown. He was pretty solid last season. Could have been way better. He was kind of a disappointment where he was drafted last season. I do like Marquise Brown in his position. The fact that you don't have to reach for him. You can get him later on in your draft. Going to be the number 1. And as long as his hamstrings can stay healthy, he's going to be a solid option for Lamar all season. Love him as a nice wide receiver 3. Maybe a flex option this season. Then we got Rashad Bateman at 154, the first round talent that they did draft. Love him as a late round pick. Who knows what he's going to be this season, but maybe he'll get a lot of run this season with Baltimore. Then a super late flyer, we have Sammy Watkins at 295. Maybe he's worthy of your last pick of your draft. See what happens, but not super excited about Sammy unless we get some injuries with Marquise Brown and Bateman, which currently they are both injured, but it's early training camp, so I don't think it's really too much of a concern. Then we have the number 1 target on the team. We have Mark Andrews at tight end. Had a pretty solid season last season. You probably reached for him, so it could have been a disappointment for you, but if you didn't reach for him, pretty solid. I mean, not too many elite tight ends. Figures to have another great year with Baltimore. He hopefully gets more touchdowns. He kind of didn't do as amazing in the touchdown department as you would have liked. Then we got Justin Tucker being drafted at 182. Love Justin Tucker, best kicker in the league. And, definitely big things for Tucker in this offense. With this offense that's putting up almost 30 points a game. Love the upside with Justin Tucker here. And, we're looking at Lamar Jackson last season, getting 332.8 fantasy points, threw for 2,757 yards and 26 touchdowns, had 9 picks, and Yeah, ran for over 1,000 yards. Really great season for Lamar here. Then we got, J.K. Dobbins coming off that 800-yard season. Coming off that 800-yard season, I expect a lot more work for J.K. Dobbins here. Hopefully he can get into 1,000-yard, be a 1,000-yard rusher, which I think is definitely possible, and hopefully he can get into double digits in the touchdowns. I love J.K. Dobbins here. And then we got, Marquise Brown coming off a 769-yard receiving year, 8 touchdowns. You hope he can get into the thousands, and hopefully he can be a double-digit touchdown scorer. That's definitely going to help his draft status and make him a steal at where he's being drafted. Mark Andrews, 7 touchdowns. I mean, pretty solid. You hope he can get some more touchdowns, and 58 catches. You kind of hope those go up as well. 700 yards. You obviously hope that can do well as well. Tight ends are tough, you know that. Unless you're drafting Travis Kelce, you know what you're going to get from your tight ends. But then we got a lot of new opportunity with Rashad Bateman, Sammy Watkins coming in. So new offensive opportunity. Losing Willie Snead, so I think Sammy Watkins and Bateman are going to get a lot more targets here. And, could definitely compete with Marquise Brown for his targets. And definitely going to spread it around. So I love those options there. The people I'm drafting, drafting Lamar, I'm drafting J.K. Dobbins. I'm not really drafting Marquise Brown. In all the mock drafts I've done, I don't really like Marquise Brown. I think there's more upside with Bateman than there is with Marquise Brown. Bateman's not really had much of an injury history. Sammy Watkins as a sleeper late in drafts as your last pick. It doesn't hurt to pick Sammy. Every year he starts the season off pretty hot for a couple games, and then he kind of falls off and gets hurt. So I love Sammy for the beginning of the season because that's just what he's been known to do. But yeah, hope you guys do good in your drafts, and pretty much the players I'd be drafting there. I love Justin Tucker too as my kicker. I mean, if you can get Justin Tucker, lock him up, you're doing pretty good there. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the Baltimore Ravens fantasy preview. And yeah, be sure to check. I'm going to be doing these videos for all the other teams, so be sure to check that out. And good luck with your fantasy drafts. Go ahead and sign up for the Ultimate Draft Kit. And I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Have a good one.